What's up, guys? I got a interesting video for you guys today. I guess it's kind of I made a video today on my TikTok, right? Please check it out, right? Pretty much the same name. Um, Talking about interracial dating, right? I've said it in my other videos that I date outside my race, right? I don't discriminate, right? I don't mind, dating Asian women, dating black women, white. It don't matter, right? It just so happens that a lot of women I've dated were black. Okay, the majority were black. So I saw this video from a female creator talking about interracial dating. So I just I gave my my thoughts, my 2 cents, and then there was a comment on that video. Okay, so what the commenter said got me thinking, got the ball rolling, and made me wanted to create this video in saying that this is the issue with modern day women is that yeah, I like black women, but I believe, like some black men feel, that a lot of issues today black women have created. They have created the difficulties of relationships. They are entitled, selfish, right? They don't believe in choosing the right person. They don't believe in um, going through the struggles. All right? I mean, probably now they're fed up, right? Maybe they're tired of past struggles. So now they're fed up of struggling, of putting the effort in, you know, in relationships. So maybe that's it. Okay. So, that got the ball rolling and made me think that, right? So I wanted to create this video in essence that I believe modern day black women in particular have created the issue they are having in the dating market today. Okay? So let's see why. Why do I think that? Okay? It's gonna be a little bit weird. I'm gonna react to myself.
Came out when I was like 10. Okay? When I saw this, I was like, absolutely. Absolutely. But the real question is, are Asian men attracted to black girls? Because it's not given that they are. Not. Is their family gonna, like, not be okay with it? Like, is your parents low-key racist? Like, this is the problem. But when she was
Let me give my 2 cents, right? For me, I have friends, right? Asian friends that date and are in long-term relationships with black women. And I say I love black women, okay? I date predominantly black women. Most of my exes have been black. And I'll say this, it's just, I think it's, you have to think, Asian men, they do and they would love black women. I think the personalities complement each other. Asian men, right? They like to take care of their women, but they're kind of shy. They're not the type of men that's like, not in this. And this is my own opinion. In general, Asian men are not the type of men that just like start talking to a whole bunch of women, right? They're not necessarily the most charismatic, not necessarily. They don't just, hit up and hit on dozens and dozens of women, right? So I would see that Asian men in general, they're kind of shy. So I could say that most of the girlfriends, the black girlfriends I've had, they hit on me, right? They went after me, believe it or not. So depends on how you want to go about it, right? I always feel like Asian men hold their shit down, right? Good jobs, they have their shit together, take care of their women, right? I believe Asian men are leaders of their household, okay? But they treat women well. But to her second question, yeah, Asian parents can be, I don't know, I would say racist, but I would say ignorant, right? Because, just like most people, they see what they see online, on TV. They don't hang around or friends, or with black people. So, nothing's perfect. So you have to go into it with a state of mind that, what, I want to maybe prove my man's parents wrong, that I am different, that I'm not what society portrays that I am. It's up to you, right? Again, nothing's perfect. Everything has their trials and tribulations. So it's a mindset you should go into having, right? But I believe in general, Asian men, personally, I think they're faithful, or I think they hold their shit down. I think they take care of their women, in my opinion. So, yeah.
I'll tell you.
So, right, that's the gist. That's the premise of it, right? I said what I said. I believe, right, there are particular problems, okay? Cultural problems, per se, okay? With every type of relationships, right? There are probably problems, and I'm not even saying, I'm not saying the problems. Let's say if you date someone within your race, right? If a black woman date a black man, there may be cultural specific problems, and I'm not touching that because, again, it's not necessarily my forte. I'm not black, so I'm not dating another black person. So I'm not saying the cultural problem, but I do know that there are problems that specifically with that. Okay, when you are a black woman dating a black man, and I think I will show some, right? You will have certain problems. So whatever relationship, right, you pick, there will be problems. Like I said, there will be trials and tribulations. And it's your choice if you want to go through the hardships. Because there's always hardships. There's always hardships in any kind of relationship, right? Depending on how hard it is, who knows, right? That's up to that relationship, right? It could be small hardships, could be really, really big ones, right? But again, you have to be ready to go through those hardships, right? If you want to be in that particular relationship. And that's something that, I think personally, black women don't understand. Or at least some, right? Or some black women don't understand it or don't want to do it, right? They want the easiness, right? They want things to be easy. They really don't want to do hardships. Because you can think about this. Let's correlate it, right? In general, right, divorce rates are about 50-50. And it's women, predominantly the ones that file for divorce. And that's all race of women. But even in black demographic, still black women are predominantly the ones to do divorce, to file for divorce. So it don't matter what race, right? Women are the ones predominantly filing for divorce. So in essence, they're not going through, right, the hardships. They don't want to go through the hardships. Fine, that's fine. That's up to you, right? But that says a lot, okay? That says a lot that, if you don't want to go through the hardships, then okay, move on. If you can't do it, you can't do it. But, at the end of the day, if you can't go through the hardships of relationships, why even be one, right? Because if you think relationships are perfect, good luck. Good luck with that. Let's try this one, right? Now, the comment to the video that I made was from one black woman, okay? Here, let's read it out, right? Two things, right? Ignorant is an euphemism for racism. I guess if you want to say that, because I don't. I mean, And I'll explain it in this one, right? But I don't believe that. Okay, but I just want to read out. And then two, no, the onus is always put on us to prove ourselves instead of everyone else. Sure, it's like you take no self responsibility. You know, you take no accountability. You don't put no effort in. Who says like no one's gonna put any effort? But let's listen to what I'm gonna reply to it. Comment on the creator's video, and I wanted to talk about it. All right, her first one, ignorant, is a euphemism for racist. It is what if you believe that, right? I mean, like I said, interracial dating is not for everyone. I mean, most people date within their race, so there is no. You do not have to feel forced into dating someone of another race. My mother. I mean, look at this, right? I have mixed kids, from an ex. My sister is married to a black man. He was willingly, right, to prove just by existing, right, by how he treat my sister, right, how he treated my sister, how he showed respect, how he was, right, just simply existing, shown her the difference. So my mom currently has about 4 mixed grandkids. She loves them. She takes care of them. She supports them. She absolutely adores them. And my first ever black girlfriend, she was absolutely, she hated it, right? She did not want me to date outside my race. And that was years ago, right? That was years ago. Time will change people. It's just it, right? Because like I said in my video, I believe it's ignorant because, again, you get misconceptions of what you think or people are. You think of this, right? How many women have, to me, have said they want to date an Asian man because they think Asian men are not sexually adequate? Sounds pretty racist to me, okay? Because of the stereotypes of Asian men. But I would say that's ignorant rather than racist, because if you, in my view, is that even if you were proven wrong, you still hate that. You still believe what you believe in. All right. So let's say if you're proven that, you know, black people can't be upright or can't be not hood, but you're proven wrong of it, and you still believe it. I see that as you pass the threshold of being ignorant, and now you're racist. But that's me, right? You can, like I said, you know, obviously she's not the type of person that may go through interracial dating easily, right? I'm not saying she dates interracially or not, but it might not be a successful venture for her. And the onus is always on us to prove ourselves, right? Instead of everyone else. It's your own life, right? You are, this is the thing, right? I had a girlfriend who I said she didn't have to prove nothing to my family, but she wanted to be included, to have my family accept her and to have in-laws, right? She wanted it, right? You don't have to do nothing you don't want to do. But it's up to you at the end of the day if you want to change people's minds. You don't have to change nobody's mind, right? Everyone has the right to live how they want to live. But at the end of the day, if you chose this person you want to be with the rest of your life, right? Spend the rest of your life with. You love this person. Well, it's called sacrifices, you know? It's called doing things because you love the other person, that you know. That's why I said that in relationships, there's always ups and downs. And I'm sorry, I think modern women in particular, they don't know what it means to go through hardships. They don't make efforts. I personally believe that, right? And maybe whether I'm wrong or right, you tell me with your life. That's it. But like I said, I've dated black women. Okay, my mom don't care, right? My brother-in-law is black, so like I said, he, right, a black man, chose to make that effort. You don't have to. Okay, this is the thing where you don't have to choose to date interracially, because that's a hardship that you don't have to cross if you stay within your own race. So that's just my continued 2 cents. And the thing, right? Like I said, and I'm going to show, right, that there's hardships, there's difficulties in every types of relationships. But like this black woman, when you only see the negativity and you give up, well then, sure, right? That's your way about it, right? But it's going to show you that, let's say this, right? On dating app, and I'm going to show it, right? On dating apps, black women are the least desirable, right? I'm not saying necessarily they're the least desired, but they're the least desirable, right? So the difference is that most men don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with black women. The attitude, right? Which, in this comment, I could sense the attitude. All right? So, men don't want to deal with this. The aggressiveness, the attitude, the combativeness, the type of person that just gives up, right? If you could find a good guy, right? A good guy, but yet you could give up on the relationship because of hardship, well then fine, right? It's what you're free to do. You're free to do it. At the end it is what it is, but you could only have yourself to blame at the end of the day that you didn't try. That it's too hard for you, right? Because if you can't do interracial relationship, you have problems with relationships within your own community, then what do you have then, right? No one, right? Because I've said this many times before, right? Goldman Sachs has done a survey. They did a study that in about 20 years, women in general will be more single than ever, and childless, right? There will be more single women than ever in recorded history by their study, okay? More and more women will just be alone, which is, that's up to you, right? That's up to the woman, right? If they want to be alone, they want to be alone. But that's why I said that you women, and in this case black women in general, are creating, right, that lifestyle. And it's fine. If that's what you want, fine. But you cannot complain about something you created. That's the thing where it's the hypocrisy, right? You created the dating market. You created the life that you're living. Okay, then. That's how it is. You have to deal with it. All right? We're going to talk more about it. Let's talk more about what I was talking about, how making the effort, okay? About maybe proving people wrong. If you don't want to, right? You don't have to, but let's, Myron, right? He always says things the best. Better talking than me, so let's hear him out.
You understand what I'm saying?
Which means that your free will
Your free will is to be masculine and aggressive and assertive.
Yeah, you're controlling
and
your actions.
Right. However, the man does not have to deal with that. Like, he doesn't have to. So if he sees a black girl, she may fit that stereotype. She has I'm gonna say 70% chance of fitting that stereotype. Why should he bet on that 70% when he can swipe right?
70?
Not 70.
I'm just
Not
gonna,
70.
Are you that
I
way?
just made up that
A
number.
black woman, are you
Right.
that way?
So do
I mean,
Yo, you guys
I
are
don't-
perpetuating the stereotype by cutting her off.
Yeah.
Real talk. She's trying to articulate her point, and y'all, who cuts her off? The black girls on the table. Like, y'all, real talk, are perpetuating the stereotype even further. Here's the thing. Stereotypes exist in some semblance of reality
True.
and some semblance of truth. It's upon you as the individual to prove that stereotype wrong.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? It's up to you, right? If you want to prove it wrong, you could choose not to, which the woman, right, in the comment, she wouldn't want to choose. She wouldn't want to prove it wrong, which is fine. That's up to you, right? You are your own person. You're an adult. But at the end of the day, the other person has the choice to believe in that stereotype, right? People, if they see, right, if they believe, let's say, black men are violent men. Okay, well, that is. And then you choose not to, prove otherwise, then, well, that's life, If you are allowed to not change anyone's mind, well, then the minds that you don't change, they are allowed to just think how they want to think. That is reality, right? That's the reality. So you can't blame people for this is why I said ignorant, right? And she disagrees, but this is why I say ignorant. If people don't know and you don't feel like changing it, right? Feel like changing their minds, then they will stay not knowing. So that's how it is. Myra said it again. If you want them to them to perceive something different, then it's up to you to change it. Stop expecting other people to just be changed. That's not how it works, because you are affected by their perceived notion of you. Oh, well, then change it. Right? Take the steps. That's it. I mean, stop expecting the world. This is maybe the delusion part. Stop expecting the world to revolve around you, right? To be what you want the world to be. Stop expecting that. Right? Stop thinking it would be like that, because it's not. Plain that period. Okay, the world is not like that. You want to change it? Then change it. Even the small little things, right? Someone's ignorant to, I don't know, Asian culture. Well, I would change it. I would say no. This is one of the things, right? One of the things that I dislike, right? When people think that I'm Chinese, well, no, I ain't, right? I'm Vietnamese. And I will tell you I'm not. Right? I'm not going to let you just perceive that I'm Chinese if I feel like changing that mind. If I don't feel like it, I don't care, right? You could think whatever you want of me. That's my mindset. If I feel it, if I want your mindset to change, to know that I'm not Chinese, then I will make that change. I will tell you otherwise, right? People will cross the border between ignorance, right? Where if I told you I'm not Chinese, and I told you what I am, right? What nationality I am, and then you still choose, right, to call me and refer to me as I'm Chinese, now you just cross the line of racism, right? See, that's the thing, right? This is the thing. Euphemism for racism? No, because ignorant is true ignorance. It's just how, right? There's a border. There's a line you can cross, right? And they will cross it when they don't care. That's the thing. When you don't care, now you're racist. That's the thing what a lot of people don't understand. If they don't care, right? When you even show them differently, then that is racist, right? Just like, let's say this, right? If black people are perceived being hood, being ratchet, all that stuff, and then you show them that you as a black person is proper, is whatever, right? Is not hood, he speaks well, all this stuff. You show him the opposite to what his perceived, notion is, and then he still treats you and sees you as a hood guy, a ratchet guy, whatever, a ghetto guy, shit like that. Now you see the racism, right? It's not ignorant. That man is pure racist, right? That's how I see it. Now you tell me differently, right? But I see that part where they don't care, right? When they don't care, what you show them, when they don't care about the facts, now you just cross to you're being racist because you're not ignorant anymore. Because you're not ignorant because you know, right? I'm not being, I told you I'm Vietnamese. So so there's no ignorance in this. Now you're just doing it because you don't care. So now you're racist. That's how I see it. Now, let's say this, right? We're talking about how I think black women are creating, right? They are creating the dating market that gives them the results that are getting. Okay? So, here's one that and like I said, right? There's problems and tribulations in any type of relationship, right? Even in, let's say, dating within your own culture, right? Black people dating within their own culture. There's problems, right? So it's, you choose, right, if you want to deal with those problems or not. Here's a few women talking about how black men treats them. Okay? Or, yeah, I'm going to go with this.
Dealing with black men always was the black woman that supported them, encouraged them, but when they got on their feet, they left. I trusted one to finally get involved with a monogamous relationship, have a child. He abandoned me and my daughter. My heart is now blackened because I don't understand how black men cannot be responsible for their actions. How can you bring a life into this world and just get up and wash your hands clean? Like, that's your problem, deal with it.
I feel hurt.
See, that's the thing, right? That's kind of maybe a predominant problem within the black community, right? The high single mother rate. Well, do you want to deal with that? It's up to you. But I'm more saying this, right? There's problems in any type of relationship. It is up to you as the individual on how you want to deal with it, right? If you want to actually contribute, deal with it, right? Take accountability. Okay? In that situation, right? I always say it, single mothers, why did you not make him, why didn't you make him propose to you, right? Why didn't you make him marry you before you gave him a child? Right? She said, why does black men, right, just give up and walk away? End of the day, right? That's to say, right? You expect the world to be how you want it to be. But it's not. The world is not how you want it to be. That's not how the world works. There are good people and there are bad people. You just don't give a child to a man that you think, loves you. You think who wants to be with you. You should give a child to a man that shows you true commitment, right? To the best of his ability, right? And I said, even marriage is not a full state, but it's at least a high level of commitment. Okay? Obviously, right? Pretty definitely that she didn't require this man to marry her, and she still gave him a child. Okay, he's a deadbeat that he left his child, but you chose to give that type of man a child. So, I mean, that's the accountability. Okay. When you're dealing with, let's say, Asian parents, like, again, I said the ignorance thing, right? You don't have to deal with them. You don't, right? There's nothing anywhere written where you have to be on good terms with your in-laws. No, you don't. You can choose to be, okay, if you want to be. But you don't have to be. So this is the things where I said you choose the lifestyle you want to have, right? But you have to make it work, right? You have to, put in the effort to make it work, right? If you want to be in a monogamous relationship, right? Create a family, all that stuff, right? Make things work. Really vet the man. Choose a decent man. A man that wants to be a father, wants to be a father to your child, right? Wants to marry you. This is advice to women. Marriage for women is 100% your benefit. Okay? It is 100% your benefit. It's legal binding, right? And if anything happens, well, the court now steps in to, control that situation. Make it in your favor a lot of times. So, yeah, marriage is into a woman's benefit. So, that's what they don't understand.
Because no one was doting on me. No one was caring about my feelings or what I needed while my brother was taken care of. So when I grew up and I was out on my own, I became needy. And when I was ignored or pushed away, I would snap. Now, I'm not like the violent type. I'm more of the text you 200 times type. I'm more of the verbally abusive type. I hurt people because I'm hurt.
My dad lived 3 stoplights away from me, and he didn't come see me because he married a white woman, and he was playing daddy to her kids. I was young, looking for someone to love me because I didn't have him. So when I made a mistake at 14, I became sexually active, and my first time I got pregnant. And I felt like that was his chance to prove to me that he loved me, and he completely disowned me.
And so she sent me to stay with my dad.
Do you blame, like these things, like, do you blame, here's my question, right? Do you blame the man, the terrible man, for this situation? Or do you blame the mother who chose to give a child to this terrible man? Why? This is the thing, right? Where here's women in their older age, right? I think terrible self-reflection. Thinking about, I'm gonna blame black men. I'm gonna blame my father. Not talking about their mothers. When in essence, right, there are good men and there are bad men, and there are a spectrum of in between. If you are going to give children to bad men, you just chose a bad man. There's no denying it, right? That this is a bad man. Let's say that, right? That ignored his child, don't care about his child, left his child, shit like that, right? Fine, he's a bad man. But these women, right, didn't have to experience having a bad man for a father. They didn't have to. It is the mother that chose to pass on this experience to the children. That's the thing that I think it's kind of the delusion there, right? Where did they have to? Did they have to experience this? This is why this is the problem, right? With modern day dating. We don't vet. We don't ask for help. We do what we want to do. We're so entitled. We're so selfish. And we make a lot of mistakes. We ignore red flags. We ignore it. And then these are the results, right? The trauma of next generations.
A man that I didn't even know. When I got off the plane, he didn't even recognize me. So then when I started acting out with him, he said, I'm gonna send you back to your mom. And I disowned me. And then I met a guy, this drug dealer. Every girl wanted him, and he wanted me. To me, that was just so big because I felt like nobody wanted me up until that point. And he took care of me till he got locked up. I said, well, he took care of me, so I'm gonna do what I can.
I feel, right, sympathy for, is this sympathy or empathy? Well, I just feel bad for these women, right? I do. But then at the same time, I don't. Because, yes, black men, right, certain black men have treated them wrong. But do they ever think that they chose these black men that treated them wrong? I can't feel 100% sympathy, right? Because like I've said in other videos, getting men for women is easy. It's all in easy mode. Absolutely, utterly easy mode. And yet you choose those bad men. You choose to be with them. There were definitely good men hitting on you. Definitely good men wanting to be with you. But you didn't choose those men. She just said, what, she said a drug dealer? Did you thought that was a good man? All right? No matter how crappy your father was, you thought that was a good man to choose because he was desired? I mean, even you knew he was a drug dealer. What woman thinks a drug dealer is going to be a good man? You know, you off the bat, you knew he was going to be a bad man. You knew the relationship would be bad. You chose to still be with him. I mean, it's like when you know the equation, you know the answer, yet you ignore it. Where's the accountability? Right? Now you're blaming your father because he ignored you, because he left you. You blame your father for your mistakes. I mean, he didn't force you to go with this man. So this is the thing, right? Again, I go back to it. The mothers didn't choose. Make men marry you before you give them children. If they don't give them children. Have sex, right? Have sex if you want. Just don't give them kids. That's it.
And to take care of him. I ended up taking these guys up on an offer to do a drug run for them. They said they would give me some money so I could help pay for his attorneys. And one of the guys said that it was a better idea if they just kept me and beat my ass and told them to send money for my ransom, or they would kill me. So I think what you perceive as anger is hurt, it's betrayal, it's being let down, it's abuse.
I don't know. I mean, okay. It's like sometimes we don't understand our own contributions to our lives. We don't understand because she was. It's like I'm not discrediting the things that happened to her in her life, right? I do put focus on you essentially put yourself into those situations. you were with a drug dealer, do you think that would have been a good life? You think that would be a beautiful life? I don't think so. So, these are things that, again, it all goes in the sense that, do women understand that they are creating the life that they are living? Okay? Plain and simple, right? You create the life that you live. So what you do in that life, like say, dating outside your race if you want to, proving people that you're not, you're not a stereotype if you want to, right? The actions you make, right, to get the outcome closest to what you want. Well, that's up to you, right? But yeah, I mean, that's that's the thing, right? I would say. Let's yeah, that's it, I guess. I just wanted to talk about that it was an idea I had that I see women, black women in particular, would complain about things. But what actions are you taking, right, in life to change things? Right? Because there's complaints when you date black men. Now there are complaints when you date other types of men. So really, I guess you're just meant to be single. I mean, like, if you find fault in any type of man, then, perfection is not out there for you. I don't know. All right, guys. Later.